Okay, go, Alfreda.
First of all, I would like to just say that how I got onto the program is quite important, because it wasn't as if it just, I think that just gives you a bit of background. And I attended the SAPA, Principals Conference, where I saw Louise speak. She ended off the conference, if you can remember, 2 years back. And the thing that struck me most, and one of the questions we had to answer or look at, is how do we see education in the country, and how do we see it changing, or what do we see our role is, and all of that. And one of the things that really, really struck my chord was when she mentioned about the amount of awake hours a child has and how many hours spent with the parent as opposed to the school. And I think that was something that really, really pointed out and was very significant to me. I then invited her, got hold of her, thankfully, invited her to come over to come and be our guest speaker at our prize giving, at which she did a 10-minute talk, which was absolutely brilliant. And then she invited me onto the program, and I thought, yes, program anytime. But I didn't know what I was letting myself in for. I'm sure any of you felt like that. I actually couldn't even get the connections right. Okay, here comes Veronica. We've got to go to this workshop. You know, I couldn't understand it from the start. And it took me a while to actually get to grips with what am I letting myself in for. But it all worked. It all started out where eventually when I got to meet, I actually only met Lizelle at the time to think workshop that we had. Because I was away at the time that the first program, the first workshop happened, and that was a little bit, threw me a little bit offbeat. So I didn't really understand anything the way it was going to happen. However, it took me a while, and I think it took Lizelle a while as well, to get to know what we were meant to do. And so that was quite a slow journey, but it's as if it just started to snowball. The original meeting the initial meeting that we had at school was also just kind of finding our feet, finding what are we supposed to be doing, and what is your role, what is my role. It wasn't really clear to me until we had Veronica come in and she mediated. I think we were fighting. I don't think we could get to grips. So all of that was very important to set the base, and that was very valuable. So for me, I think, having come to the first COP meeting and having met everyone else, I sort of got an idea of what was going on and what was actually happening. And
we're an attractive bunch.
And that sort of, I think, made me more relaxed, because it made me feel that I'm not the only one who's totally. Now everyone's looking at their own pictures, isn't it?
They're on the website like that, by the way.
Yeah, that was really encouraging.
You're not there. Ripper and I are not there, so we'll just feel left out now for a moment.
Okay. So the first thing that really impacted, or one of the things that really impacted us, was we have set a set plan for the year, set program, and I'm sure most schools do that. And I felt pretty much, we pretty good, if I can put it in that way. And the thing that we discussed was we want to go from good to great, because there's always, you never really get to great, but there's always room for improvement. And so we were looking at how we're going to improve the functions and the things that we were doing at the school, and how we're going to make it better. How are we going to, and do we really think, we might think we're good, but maybe we're not. So it was important to actually do all those discussions which Lizelle and I had. And she came up with quite a lot of suggestions and ideas and support. And I think that was one of the things that really, really encouraged me, is we have an annual food fair, as you can see. We have an annual surf walk where the families go on a Saturday and we go off to the beach together. We have cultural evening and those types of things in place already. But just the support, we're always looking for people to support us. We need more gazebos, or we need tents, or we need sound. And our food fair last year jumped just in terms of the atmosphere from good, which I felt was really much better. Might not be great yet because we have such ideas going forward as well, but the big improvement was having Old Mutual and Nedbank there with the sound. And you know, we've got big grounds and fields, etc. And if the sound isn't right, then people don't know what's going on. You know, you can't make announcements, and everything is sort of very, you know, it looks very disorganized, even though you have all your stalls and you have all your rides, etc., etc. So that was something that really, really, I felt very supported, and I think that was something that really helped me feel, okay, we're starting to move now. We're starting to get, you know, to get better than what we really are. Then, you know, Lizelle came up with this suggestion, which was, I think, for us at our school was really the climax. It was really a highlight. When she suggested that we take on this character transformation program, I immediately grabbed and liked the idea, but as someone said previously, you know, you can sit with ideas, but to get buy-in from the staff is very tricky. And again, the flawless consulting, the time to think, all those programs we went on, I'm not going to elaborate because you've all been on it, you know what it's all about. Those things really and truly made me stop and think before I rush into, we're going to do this is how we're going to do it. No. You know, I knew at the back of my mind this is what's going to happen, but I needed to get everyone on board first. You know, so she suggested the people who's going to do the training come and do a presentation to me. And I thought, no, hold on. I need everyone on board. We got the SMT together, and instead of doing the whole stuff, we did the SMT, and they presented to our management team. That was immediately, you know, that encouraged or they got buy-in, and they were on board and they were quite keen for this to happen. We then took it to the staff, and even with the training, what was also very encouraging for me was that all the things we did, all the trainings, the workshops we did, and the character transformation training that we did with the staff, Lizelle was present. She was just quietly there all the time. And that was very encouraging for me, knowing that, you know, she was really, really interested. I felt it was authentic. It wasn't just a matter of, we'll pay for it, you run with it, you know, this kind of thing. It was really a togetherness. And even at the training, Lizelle said to me, I don't think some of the staff is really interested. I don't think they really, you know, they don't seem to be taking to it, etc., etc. But when we actually started with the program, it was absolutely incredible how the teachers and the staff ran with the program. And that was partly, again, I think the skill of getting everyone not only buy-in but on board and taking ownership, and the skills that we were taught at Flawless Consulting, etc. So, we've got some slides here. Where are we now? Okay, just to show you a bit about the ideas that came forward, and all these ideas came from the staff. You know, everything that we did came from the staff. This was the big launch, and we took children from the different grades in the different colours they were depicting, and the teachers decided how it was going to be done, whether it was going to be one a month, and how we were going to actually launch it. They decided on all the activities. We divided it up amongst the staff. You know, it wasn't a matter of, because in the guidelines it just says you have to have a committee. And immediately they jumped on the pastoral care committee, you know, and said, well, that's pastoral care, you do it. And someone else piped up and said, no, why don't we split it up in each grade, all the grades do a different one. And what I really enjoyed about that was everyone's leadership skills came forth, you know, and it's amazing when you see everyone just growing into that leadership skill, which is there. I think it's just there. We just don't tap into it, and maybe we just don't know how. But again, I go back to the workshops and things we did, Flawless Consulting, how to actually get everyone on board. Those skills and those techniques really, really helped, and the listening and all of those things. So, just in terms of all the different, these are all the different activities you can see. These are the grade 4s. They did responsibility, and the teachers came up with everything. They came up with the responsibility police badge for every child. There you see the principal up on the ladder on top, wrapping the trees. That's me with the guys at the bottom. And, oh yeah, one of the teachers came out and took the photo and said, guys, don't look up. Anyway, but it was everyone involved, everyone on board, the groundsmen, the workers who work in the garden, the support staff, were all part of the training. I got all, the whole entire staff, even the aftercare staff, to be part of the training, which helped them to understand, we're going to wrap trees, what's it actually all about. So it wasn't a matter of explaining, this is what we're doing in the school, this is why, So it was everyone on board and everyone involved, and you can see the children just absolutely loved it. We did it over 6 months for last year, and we decided, because it was so well received, we're not going to go into all the paraphernalia of all the different activities and things, but we're going to continue with it in the school, and we're going to do it 2 months at a time because there are 6. So the only way we're going to sort of highlight it was at the beginning. So this Friday we're launching Respect, not launching because they've done it. So the only way we're going to highlight, we're changing, they just come dressed in that colour for the day. So everyone knows we're starting with Respect now. So for the next 2 months, what we've done is every Friday they get points for their houses, for different things. And for Trustworthy now, for the first 2 months, they get points added to their house. So if anyone picks up money in the hand in, go and get a Trustworthy point. So it goes to the house. So that's how we sort of still rewarding them. But the whole ribbon thing, it's quite a mission, has sort of come to an end, but we are still rewarding the children and encouraging them, and they're still keen, and it's still going on. It's not as if it's just happened and now it's just gone away. So that's been really, really wonderful. And as I say, that to me was one of the highlights of the school. Moving on. Okay. I'm going to just, let me see. I think I've touched on the leadership programs. I think that was also very important to me, is that, the training that we've received and the training that, and the approaches that we've received from our workshops, we actually called Saturday workshops with the children. And for example, these were the grade 6s, we did it with the grade 7s as well, but this year, our new grade 7s are our trained leaders. So when we walk into the class, or we talk to the grade 7s, remember, you're all leaders. So it's not only the prefects, or only the monitors, or only the captains. All of you are leaders. So, they've had the training, so they can't opt out. They're all just in it. Then, I think something that Lizelle is going to talk about, which was also an improvement in the school, I'm going to leave over to her, because this just sort of manifested in the rest. Yeah.
No, well, this is really evidence of the work that we have done in the school over the year. This is this assembly pass percentage results of Holy Cross, and as you can see here, the grade 6s, how it jumped from 2010 to 2011 in numeracy and literacy. Wow. Yes, and then this is also evidence of the how the school has brought the community to the school, the parents' involvement. Every year they do the food fair and the surf walk, and they raise money through cake sales and tuck shop. And if you can, here's the difference between 2010 and 2011. The food fair was 41,000 the year before, 2010, and 54 in 2011. So even though it's in a poor economic state, the parents do come to the school and support the school. So this is for us a substantial improvement, and we hope that Saturday coming would have more.
An increase in our
Yes, just bigger and bigger every year.
Because we have our food fair coming up this coming Saturday.
We didn't realize this while we were doing this. We only discovered the improvements after we were tasked to put together a presentation. So I actually asked, go and check everybody. And here you can find the evidence to see all the investment that you have put into the school, your time and efforts, and what we've all tried to do. That was the evidence.
Brilliant. We did sorry, but just to finish off, we did a bit of a calculation and we tabulated all the times we got together, and including the COP meetings, etc., etc. And we worked out we got together at least in a year 35 to nearly 40 times.
Wow.
And that was quite remarkable, because it's only when you actually write it down that you actually realize it, So that was really amazing. I just want to, in conclusion, say that the life of principal is often very trying at times, as you all know. But having the support of the public and someone who has no self-interest, in other words, there's no personal gain for her in doing this, has really, really meant so much to me and really encouraged me as a principal, and has really impacted on the school. You just get a more positive vibe. There's always been a good vibe, as I say, but it is better. It's getting better, and it's more positive. The responsibility that we are putting onto the children, they're taking that same message home to the parents, and they are taking responsibility for the food fair. Beginning of this year, we decided to get the parents communicating more, to prepare for the food fair. As you know, it's a big event. We call a meeting every year, and we have about 3 to 5 parents coming for each grade. And this year we did it a bit differently, and we decided we're going to have a meet and greet boerewors braai, so that it's quick, no other long braai meet. Boerewors 3 hours on a Friday, the first, second Friday of the year. And the parents came. We had slippery water slides for the children. We had fun activities for them to, of course, get the parents there. But the nice thing was that we had at least 20 to 25 parents in each grade to sit around and have a discussion and plan it properly. So I know that it's going to, more people is committed to taking turns and doing part of the roster this coming Saturday. It won't just be a handful. There's definitely an increase and improvement in the parent involvement and stuff. So again, I would just like to say that we are planting seeds. We are planting seeds that one day will grow. We might never see that, but we know that what we are planting will pop and one day will grow. And what's really critical for us is that we started out as partners for possibility, but now we are partners for possibility for life.